Hello, everybody. It's Dave Juno, the Meniere's Disease Warrior. How you all doing? I hope you're all doing well. I hope you had a great weekend. Um, I'm feeling okay, for Monday. Kind of tired, didn't sleep well, but that's a different story. So, seeing posts a lot lately of, sorry, I gotta fix this, of people asking how can they get someone to understand what they're going through, meaning husbands, wives, spouses, partners, even family, children, stuff like that. And it's a very tricky question. It's a very tricky thing because sometimes you can do everything and show them pamphlets, print out stuff off the internet, have them read it. They still don't get it. They still think you're making it up or it's all in your head. And you got to understand the one thing is that do I look sick? Do I look like I have a disease or a syndrome? Do I look like it? No. No, I look normal. And that's what they're seeing. That's what their eyes are telling them. Okay? It might not necessarily be they don't believe that you're sick, but they don't believe that you're sick at that time. So, it's a hard thing to do. And some of the answers I saw in these posts were really, really good. And bring them to a doctor's appointment. Try couple counseling. Try counseling for yourself, which is probably the best thing to do. Do this and that. But there was also some pretty bad ones of leave them, dump them, get rid of them, and some daredevil posted, get a cat. If you have Meniere's disease and you're in a support group, I have no idea why you would tell somebody to get a cat. But somebody did. And that somebody was actually in a group that I moderate, and they're gone. But the thing is that you could do all those things. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to understand. Okay? Make it an inclination, though. I think the best one is bringing them to your doctor's appointments. And I'll tell you why. I've been dealing with Meniere's symptoms for 10 years, diagnosed almost 7 years with Meniere's in my left ear, and last week officially diagnosed with it in my right, so I'm bilateral. Now, the first couple of months were awful. Hell-raising. I just, so much stress, so much pressure. My wife didn't really get it. And why would she? I mean, look at me, So, excuse me. So, after a while, I don't know if I asked her or she asked me to go to one of my doctor's appointments. And I said, come or please come. So luckily for me, I was seeing a doctor by the name of Dr. Gasek. God rest his soul. He had passed away. He was an older doctor too. He was like in his 80s. He was still doing his stuff and knew his stuff and was very, very good. So we went to him and he answered every question my wife had. And I could see the light going off in her eyes saying, okay, I'm starting to get this. So from that point on, she went to every doctor's appointment. Most of them, I should say. And she would ask more questions and ask. And then finally, she got it. After about 3 months, she got it. After 3 months from the date she went, she understood. I got lucky. I got lucky with the doctor. I got lucky with my wife. No pun intended. So, so then when I had to see Dr. Remmenschneider, because Dr. Gasek told me to go to him, my wife would still come, and she would still ask him questions, because now he was performing surgery. So she was asking questions about that, and she was scared and this and that. And I'm like, I'm the patient having it. But she was scared. So she really understood it. Now she doesn't really go too much to any of my appointments because we've got grandkids that we're helping raising, and it can be a big problem. So, but that's one way of getting them to understand. I think therapy is a very good way of getting them to understand. If you can get them to counsel, couple counseling, I think that would be a very good idea. But, it's like quitting smoking or anything. You have to want to do it. They're going to have to want to go. If they don't want to go, it ain't going to work if you force them to go. So you could try that. But the one thing I will say to you is get yourself some therapy. Okay? Go to see a therapist. I did, and it worked wonders. It's probably one of the reasons why things worked out where my wife understands more and more and more, is because I took the initiative to get therapy myself. And I recommend it for anybody with Meniere's, vestibular problems, anything like that, any chronic illness. I recommend it because they'll show you how to deal with things a lot easier. Now, somebody in my family doesn't understand. I don't get mad. I just, okay, whatever. I walk away. I don't get mad. It's just like, I can't. I have my life. I have to live it. And unfortunately, I have to live it with a chronic illness. And that's just the way it is, unfortunately. So, I'm not going to say everyone in my family, my extended family, understands completely. I would say 95% of them understand, or understand somewhat. But there's a few that still don't, and I don't kind of worry about it. But it's not my spouse. So the spouses are different. You're living with your spouse. You're dealing with your spouse. You're dealing with your partner on a daily basis. So, yeah, getting therapy for that would be an awesome thing. If you can get them to go to counsel therapy, that would be great. If you can get them to go to doctor's appointments, that would be great. If you could get them to join a support group, that would be great. If you get them to watch one of my videos, one of them did. Hopefully it worked for them. Because the worst thing you can get is and you can feel this if somebody doesn't understand that you're all alone in this, and you're not. Remember that you're not, because you've got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are here in support groups to help you deal with everything. So, one, let's review. One, see if you can get them to go to one of your doctor's appointments. Two, couple therapy. Give it a shot. We didn't do that, but I think it works for a majority of the people. And three, get some therapy for yourself, because you're going to need it. And it's going to help you so much to deal with everything. Not just Meniere's, but everything else. And four, if you want to get a cat, get a cat. I wouldn't suggest that's going to solve your problems. Just get a cat because you want a cat, not because it's going to make you feel better. I still don't understand that daredevil who wrote that. Get a cat. God. I'm telling you, people, it's a crazy world we live in, and people are keyboard warriors and will say anything. So yeah, that's my recommendation for that. And I've been thinking about making this video since I saw these things, like starting last Wednesday, and just trying to put a lot of thought behind it, because I know it's hard. Okay, it's a hard thing to deal with. So if you do these things, if it helps, great. If it doesn't, I don't know what to tell you. I'll never tell you to leave somebody, but you might have to, I guess. And on that note, hey, have a great Monday. Have a great week. I'm sure I'll come up with something else to talk about during the week. And take care, everybody. Bye. Better days are coming. Bye.